All right, welcome. Today, we're going to tear up the old rulebook for getting found online. Seriously, forget what you thought you knew about search, because in the age of AI, the entire game has changed.
So, let's just kick things off with a pretty wild question, right? For decades, the whole digital universe has spun around one goal: get to the top of that search page. But what happens when that peak just doesn't matter anymore? The way we all find stuff online is going through the biggest change it's seen in probably 25 years.
Yeah, that whole thing where you scroll through 10 blue links, that's pretty much over. We're stepping into a new world, one where AI chatbots and answer engines just give you a single straight-up answer. And that creates a huge new problem. If you're not the source for the AI's answer, well, you basically don't exist. You're invisible.
Okay, so how do we tackle all this? Well, we've got a plan. First, we'll look at this search revolution itself. Then, we'll dive into how to actually measure your AI presence and how to turn that visibility into real value. After that, we'll cover the technical stuff you just have to have, connect it all back to what we already know, and finally, ask the big question: are you really AI ready?
All right, first up, the search revolution. Let's really dig into this new reality. You know, all those old metrics we obsessed over, they're getting a major facelift. And we've got to understand what actually defines being seen and being trusted in this new world of AI discovery.
Okay, so how do you even measure if you're showing up in this new world? Let's start with the absolute basics, the metrics that answer a very simple question. Does the AI even know you're here?
So, the first, most basic thing you got to track is your AI citation count. Just think of it like this. It's the new version of tracking keyword rankings. Super simple. It's just a count of how many times AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini point back to your content as a source.
Okay, moving on, we've got attribution rate. This goes a little deeper. It's basically your market share in AI answers. It tells you how dominant you are on a certain topic, how often you're the one they turn to for the right information.
And here's a super simple way to think about it. Imagine you ask an AI 100 different questions about your industry. If your site gets cited as a source in 23 of those answers, then boom, your attribution rate is 23%. It's a really clear way to see how much influence you have.
But, and this is a big but, not all citations are the same, not even close. This is where the citation quality score comes in. Being the main source, citation number one, that's way more valuable than just being a little footnote at the end. This score tells you the real quality of your authority.
All right, so being visible to an AI is cool and all, but so what? If it's not actually helping your business, it's just a vanity metric. Let's talk about turning that visibility into real value.
This is where it gets real. AI-driven traffic volume. This is literally counting the number of people who see your citation in an AI answer, click on it, and actually land on your site. This is the new organic traffic, and it's the first proof that this AI thing is actually working.
Okay, but here's the million-dollar question, right? Are these people actually valuable? The AI traffic conversion rate tells you exactly that. It tracks whether they're doing what you want them to do. Buying stuff, signing up for your list, becoming a lead. This is the one that tells you if all this effort is actually making you money.
So none of this works. I mean, literally none of it, if your website isn't set up right on the back end. So let's get into the technical foundation you absolutely have to have in place.
You can really break down the whole technical side into three pretty simple things. First, AI bots have to be able to get to your site and crawl it. Second, you have to speak their language. Your content needs to be structured so machines can understand it. And third, you have to get indexed in their brain, which is usually some kind of special vector database.
Now here's something really cool and new, a standard called LLM.tx. The easiest way to think about it is like a sitemap, but specifically for AI. It's a file you put on your site that tells these AI systems exactly what your content is about and how they should use it. It's a huge leg up.
Now, the good news here is you don't have to just throw out everything you've learned about SEO for the last 20 years. There are actually some really strong connections between the old way and the new way.
And a huge piece of this puzzle is understanding the direct link between some search engines and AI models. Like, for instance, ChatGPT uses Bing for a lot of its web searches. It makes sense, right? Microsoft is a huge investor in OpenAI. And that right there is why this is so important. If your content does well on Bing, it has a much, much higher chance of being picked up and cited by ChatGPT. All of a sudden, your Bing strategy is a direct lever for your AI strategy. It's a total game changer. So this slide really wraps it all up nicely, right? It's like a direct translation guide. What we used to call keyword ranking, now it's citation count. The authority we got from backlinks, that's turning into something new called machine authority. And good old organic traffic is now AI-driven traffic.
So when you put it all together, the new metrics, the tech, the strategy, it all points to one final, really important idea about what content even is anymore. And this is really the big takeaway from all of this. Your job isn't just to make content that ranks anymore. It's to build a source of truth. Something so good, so authoritative, that AIs trust it completely and use it as their foundation.
And so that leaves us with one last question for you to really think about as you start to shift your strategy. So stop asking, is my content optimized? And start asking, is my content built to be a source?